We have a massive 24 hours to 48 hours coming in for the silver and gold market right now as crazy geopolitical tensions start to potentially become a reality. And that's exactly what we're going to be talking about in today's video. So it could be within the next 24 hours, the 48 hours. We are seeing price graphs telling us a story of how it's going to play out. And we also have some secret trades that are starting to build up that are predicting really bullish moves for gold and silver. So we will reveal those trades at the end of the video as well. So stick around if you want to see what some big money is doing out there. And let's get straight into it. So you can see right here are literally getting more volatile as the world gets more volatile right now. So for a long period of time, if you zoom out the chart, silver never really used to bounce around like this. So you're seeing huge amounts of volatility swinging for silver. You're seeing gold roughly at about $5,000. So you saw it bounce from about $4,845. It actually exceeded $5,000 before, slight cool off. And this is getting off the back end of huge news that is breaking right now in the market. And you can see how this is playing out. So oil is going up. We'll reveal why that's actually happening. Gold is going up, silver is going up, Bitcoin going down. So one thing we're seeing is people are fearful. They're very fearful about what's going to happen with Iran, and we'll talk about the details of that soon. But one thing is, oil, the strait in Iran might get shut down. So that Strait of Hormuz might get closed down. So much of the oil supply goes through that. So some people are front running those prices to get in anticipation that it does get shut down. So whether the Iranians can actually shut this down, I'm not actually sure whether they can pull that off, because we do know that the US is sending an unprecedented amount of military hardware to the region. And I mean, this is huge. So people are starting to conclude from this build-up, because it is just so massive, that war is happening. It's just a matter of when. So you wouldn't really go through this because it is so costly. Remember, this is so costly to the US taxpayers, right? So the US is footing the bill for this. There's a huge armada of weaponry. So planes, jets, planes, ships, all moving to the Middle East to get ready for this. So they're just like assembling the army, the final pieces before this actually gets set off. And so people are front running this, and crypto is getting treated like a high reward, high risk asset. So Bitcoin actually falling in price, whereas silver and gold, absorbing this volatility and moving to the upside, which is a bullish trend. We're seeing US troops getting removed out of Syria. So Trump says they're no longer needed. But I actually think that's actually code for saying that he doesn't want them fully exposed for what happens next. So if they're in Syria, they don't have all the, anti-air missiles defending them and stuff like that. So they might be a very easy target in the event that Iran does retaliate against this big strike right now. And if we actually have a look at the massive build-up right here, this is the big alpha. So Axios is reporting that there is evidence the US war with Iran is imminent, and Israel is preparing for a scenario of war within days, which is expected to include weeks-long full-fledged war, unlike the Venezuela operation, joint US-Israeli campaign that is much broader in scope than the 12-day war in June. US Armada now consists of 2 aircraft carriers, 12 warships, hundreds of fighter jets, and multiple air defense systems. More than 150 US military cargo flights have moved weapon systems and ammunition to the Middle East. Another 50 jets in 24 hours, including F-35s, F-22s, and F-16s. Oil prices are surging above $64 a barrel on the news. So one thing we can kind of take away from this is going to be a big one. So it's not going to be a short one. If all this alpha we are receiving, this intelligence in the market is correct, we're going to see a big one. And, my predictions for this is it's not going to be great, the fallout of this war. So we have seen the fallout of Iraq. We have seen the fallout of Syria. I don't see how this benefits really the US at all if you're a US taxpayer. And again, I don't think this is going to be a great thing for the world economy. That's my prediction. I know it's a hot take. I know people are going to disagree with me. They want to see a big war. I honestly don't think it's going to be a great thing for the US, but I'm just telling you guys what's happening. So I'm telling you the facts, and I don't think it's going to be great, but it is what it is. This is just the world we have to live in. And I can't control a lot of these things. And one thing I can control though, is being an asset owner in this environment. So you can see right here, non-asset owners are getting absolutely turfed. in this environment. So if you don't own assets, like you don't own gold, silver, stocks, crypto, whatever it may be, you're just losing so much wealth. Basically, there's a huge wealth gap growing, and you can see this play out, right? So the gold and silver price has been going to the moon. The stock market, as Pam Bondi tells us, we should be focused on the stock market of the Dow Jones being above 50,000, and not so much as what's been released in those files, which I think is which is pretty crazy to make that type of statement. But you are seeing assets going up. You're seeing people, who are not exposed to the stock market, gold and silver guys, they're getting crushed right now. So I do think it's a good time to be owning gold and silver in particular. That's what I'm owning. I'm not selling. I've told you guys my strategy on this, and I just think the next, the rest of the year is going to be crazy. And have a look at this. So we'll talk about some more of the big assets later on, but have a look at this secret trade that I just saw getting generated over on here on X. So this is unusual. A large investor has been buying December gold call option spreads of $15,000 to $20,000 on the COMEX exchange. This means gold price would have to triple from current levels by late 2025 for the trade to expire in the money and pay off. The traders can also profit from a sharp rally or spike in gold volatility well before the expiration of these options. This position started building after gold prices hit a record $5,600 in the last week of January. Even after gold prices fell below $5,000, the buyer of these calls has continued to accumulate contracts, with open interest surging to 11,000 contracts. Someone is betting on near-term violent move higher in gold. And look, I totally understand the logic behind this, because as I've been telling you guys, and we've been predicting on the channel, I don't think the world is slowing down. So for some reason, it's just getting more chaotic. It's getting more violent. It's getting more aggressive, some of these moves. And you're literally witnessing it, though. We are seeing the evidence getting shipped in from America to the Middle East. And, traditionally, what happens when, countries literally get destroyed and there's huge volatility and huge uncertainty? People don't know what to trust anymore. So they don't trust the fiat system that is, potentially getting rug pulled and scammed away. They trust in gold and silver, right? So that makes a lot of sense in my opinion. And it is what it is. So, massive volatility is what we can expect. And the other thing to expect is, potentially this is going to happen a lot sooner than what people are thinking, because right now, all these ships and they're all going to be in place soon. And I don't think Trump would bring all this stuff, or the US administration would bother to bring all this stuff to the Middle East unless they were legitimately planning to carry out this massive attack, which seems to be on everyone's radar right now. So that is the big news. That is what you have to prepare for. And it could be any moment now. We could get a massive update, and this just goes to the moon. And this breaks out. And we're also seeing very important stuff as well, guys. So if you like your steak, like me, I love my steak. I eat a lot of ribeye steak. The US is facing a major cattle shortage. And US cattle and calf inventory is down. Beef is going up. And this is the important stuff as well. So, where are the priorities in the US right now? Because, in the future, Bill Gates will want us to eat bugs or something. But I want to eat my steak personally. But that is going down. Beef prices are going up. So again, more volatility coming into consumer staples, beef, and again, exactly as we predicted right here. So just get ready for the storm to get unleashed. But the good news is, despite the violence that might break out, gold and silver looking good, crypto looking volatile, and oil looking like it might spike, depending on how effective the Iranians are at closing the Strait of Hormuz, should that happen. But that's a major update for today. If you guys enjoyed it, like the video. Really appreciate you tuning in. We'll have more updates to follow in the future. And I'll see you in the next one. Economic Zeus signing out.